She pranked me by pretending to destroy my gaming PC for TikTok clout. I laughed and said, "Good one." Then I sold her designer handbag collection to replace it. She stopped recording when she realized her closet was empty. 27 male, work as a network administrator for a mid-sized logistics company. I make decent money, about $72,000 a year, and I'm pretty careful with how I spend it. My one splurge over the past 3 years has been my gaming PC. Build it myself, piece by piece. RTX 4090, i9 processor, 64 gigabytes RAM, custom water cooling loop, the works. Total investment, roughly $4,800. It's my hobby, my stress relief, my escape after dealing with server crashes and Karen from accounting all day. My girlfriend, 25F, and I have been together for 2 years. Living together for the past 8 months in my apartment. Lease is in my name. I pay 70% of the rent. She covers 30% plus some utilities. It's been fine. She's always been into social media, which I never really cared about. Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Not my thing, but I'm not going to police her hobbies. What I didn't realize was how much her content creation obsession had grown. She'd gone from casual posting to desperately chasing viral moments. Her follower count became this weird metric of self-worth. She'd get genuinely upset if a video didn't perform well. Last Saturday, I came home from a 12-hour shift dealing with a ransomware incident at work. I was exhausted, dead on my feet. All I wanted was to shower, eat some leftover pizza, and maybe play an hour of Baldur's Gate before passing out. I walked into our apartment and immediately saw her standing by my PC setup with her phone propped up on a tripod. She was recording. "Babe, perfect timing," she said, grinning way too wide. On my desk, where my beautiful custom PC should have been, sat a smoking, destroyed heap of electronics. Shattered glass panel. Components ripped out. Looked like burn marks on the case. My heart literally stopped. "Surprise," she yelled. "I destroyed your stupid computer. How does it feel to lose something you love more than me?" I just stood there. Couldn't process it. 3 years of saving. 3 years of careful component selection. Gone. She kept the camera rolling, clearly expecting me to lose my mind. That's what she wanted, a viral reaction video. Boyfriend freaks out over destroyed gaming PC. Million views guaranteed. But here's the thing. I was too tired to freak out. And something felt off. The destroyed PC looked wrong. The components inside weren't right. The case was similar to mine, but not exact. I walked closer, looked at the debris, picked up what was supposed to be my graphics card. It was a gutted, ancient GTX 750, not my 4090. I started laughing. "Good one," I said. Really got me for a second. Her face fell. "What?" "No, I destroyed it. Look at it." "Babe, that's not my PC. My graphics card alone costs more than your car. This is some junk you bought at a thrift store or something." She sputtered. "No, it's yours." I took it apart. I walked to the hall closet, opened it. My actual PC was sitting there untouched where I'd moved it last week when I was cleaning and reorganizing cables. She hadn't even noticed I'd relocated it. "Nice try, though," I said, really committed to the bit. She went from confused to furious in about 2 seconds. "You moved it? When? Why didn't you tell me?" "Didn't think it mattered. I was organizing. Why would you care where my PC is unless?" I trailed off, the realization hitting me. "Unless you were actually planning to destroy it. It was a prank. A prank where you thought you were destroying something worth almost $5,000 that I spent 3 years building. It's just a computer. It would have gone viral. Do you know how many views destruction content gets?" I looked at her. Really looked at her. The phone's still recording. The fake destroyed PC on my desk. The fact that she'd genuinely intended to destroy thousands of dollars of my property for internet clout. "I'm going to take a shower," I said. "We'll talk after." I spent about 40 minutes in that shower just thinking. This wasn't a prank. Pranks are harmless. Pranks are funny for both parties. This was premeditated property destruction that only failed because she was too lazy to check if the PC was still where she remembered it. What if she'd found a real one? Would she have actually destroyed it? Based on the genuine confusion when I showed her the closet, yeah, she absolutely would have. When I got out of the shower, she was on the couch editing her video. She cut out the part where the prank failed, obviously, was trying to salvage something for content. "We need to talk," I said. "Can it wait? I'm trying to fix this footage." "No." She sighed dramatically and put down her phone. "What? You were going to destroy my PC. For a video. It was a prank. God, why are you being so dramatic? A prank that would have cost me $5,000. It's just stuff. You could buy another one. With what money? Do you think I'm made of money? You make like 70 grand a year. That's plenty. And you make what, 12 grand from your part-time job at the boutique? Plus maybe 200 a month from your content. You want me to spend 5 grand replacing something you destroyed for TikTok views?" She stood up. "You know what? I'm so sick of you not supporting my content. Other boyfriends would be proud of their girlfriend for trying to go viral. Other boyfriends would be proud of property destruction. It's entertainment. You don't understand because you're boring and you just want to sit in the dark playing your stupid games." I took a breath. "Okay, I think we need some space. I'm going to stay at my buddy's place tonight. We can talk tomorrow when we've both cooled down." "Fine. Go. See if I care." I grabbed an overnight bag and left. But I didn't go to my buddy's place. I went to a 24-hour diner and sat there drinking coffee, thinking, here's what I realized sitting in that booth. She didn't see my PC as valuable because she didn't see my work as valuable. To her, my $4,800 custom build was just stuff. But her collection of designer handbags, those were investments. Her $1,200 Gucci crossbody, essential. Her $900 Coach tote, a classic piece. Her YSL clutch, timeless. Total value of her handbag collection, roughly $6,500 by my estimate. All purchased on credit cards she was still paying off, by the way, but that's another issue. She saw no problem destroying my stuff for content. So what would happen if the situation were reversed? I'm not proud of what I did next, but I'm not sorry either. Update 1, 3 days later. Okay, so here's what happened. That night at the diner, I made some calls. I have a buddy who runs a consignment shop that specializes in authenticated designer goods. Told him I might have some items to sell and asked about the process. He explained that if items are in my possession and I can provide proof of purchase or authentication cards, he can sell them. I need to sign paperwork affirming ownership, obviously. Here's the thing about my girlfriend's handbag collection. She kept all her authentication cards and receipts in a little organizer in the closet. Very organized about that, at least. And technically, since she bought most of them using my credit card as an authorized user, which I'd given her for emergencies and somehow morphed into designer bag purchases, my name was on the receipts. Yes, I know. This is a gray area. I'm not claiming to be a saint here. Sunday morning, I went back to the apartment while she was at her part-time job. I packed up every single designer bag she owned. 8 bags total. Took photos of everything, documented serial numbers, gathered all the authentication cards and receipts. Drove straight to my buddy's shop. He authenticated everything, gave me a fair consignment rate, and listed them online. Designer bags in good condition sell fast. By Monday evening, 6 of the 8 had sold. Total, $4,100. The remaining 2 sold by Wednesday for another $1,600. Grand total, $5,700. I put $4,800 into my savings as PC replacement fund, even though my actual PC was fine, and kept $900 for my trouble. Wednesday night, she came home from work and went to her closet to pick out an outfit for some influencer meetup she was attending. The scream could probably be heard 3 blocks away. Where are my bags? I was sitting on the couch, watching TV, didn't even look up. What did you do with my bags? Sold them. She came storming into the living room. You what? Sold them. Got about $5,700 for the lot. Not bad. You can't do that. Those are mine. They were purchased on my credit card. I had the receipts. The consignment shop authenticated them and sold them legally. I'm calling the police. Go ahead. Tell them your boyfriend sold items purchased with his credit card from his own apartment. See how that goes. She actually did call. Stood there on the phone with 911, crying about theft. The dispatcher asked if she was in danger. She said no. They transferred her to a non-emergency line. She spent 20 minutes explaining the situation to an increasingly confused officer who basically told her this was a civil matter and she needed to sort it out in small claims court if she wanted to pursue it. When she hung up, she was shaking with rage. "You're going to pay for this." I mean, technically, I already did. When I paid for those bags in the first place. They were gifts. Were they? Because I don't remember ever agreeing to gift you $6,000 worth of handbags. I remember you asking to borrow my card for one small thing, and then it kept happening. That's not. You can't just. I can. And I did. Consider it compensation for the emotional distress of coming home to find my PC destroyed. IT was a prank, and this is the consequence. Funny how actions have those. She called her mom. Within an hour, her mom and sister were at our apartment, both screaming at me about what a terrible person I was. Her sister actually tried to physically intimidate me, got right up in my face talking about how her boyfriend would handle this. "Cool," I said. "Have him call me. We could discuss it." "You think this is funny?" her mom shouted. "You stole from my daughter." "Ma'am, I sold items purchased with my credit card from my apartment. Your daughter attempted to destroy my property for internet content. Which of those sounds worse to you?" "It was a prank. It was premeditated property destruction. The only reason my PC survived is because she didn't look hard enough to find it." Her sister pulled out her phone. "I'm recording this. You're going to look like such an abuser when I post this. Go ahead. Make sure to include the part where your sister tried to destroy my computer for TikTok views." Context is important. They left eventually. My girlfriend spent the night at her mom's. I changed the locks the next morning, my apartment, my lease, my right, and texted her that she could arrange a time to pick up her belongings. The response was a lot. "I'll spare you most of it, but highlights included. You're a psycho. I'm going to ruin your life. Everyone is going to know what kind of person you are. You'll never find anyone else who puts up with your boring ass. And my personal favorite, those bags were my identity and you took them from me. Your identity was designer logos purchased on someone else's credit. That's concerning on multiple levels." Update 2 1 week later. So the entitlement train kept rolling. Buckle up. First, she tried to get her stuff while I was at work. I told her she could come by Saturday with her mom to supervise the handoff. Instead, she showed up Wednesday afternoon and tried to convince the building super to let her in, claiming she'd forgotten her key and still lived there. Thankfully, I'd already informed the super of the situation. He called me. I confirmed she no longer lived there, and he declined to let her in. She apparently threw a massive tantrum in the lobby, which several neighbors witnessed. Then came the mutual friend campaign. Our friends started reaching out, asking what really happened. Turns out she'd been telling everyone I kicked her out with no warning and stole her belongings. Conveniently left out the whole "try to destroy my PC for content" part. I kept my responses simple and factual to anyone who asked. She attempted to destroy my property for a TikTok video. I sold items to compensate myself. She can tell whatever story she wants. Some people believed her anyway. Fine. Those weren't real friends. But here's where it gets interesting. Her sister's boyfriend, the one who was supposedly going to handle me, actually reached out. Not to threaten me, though. To apologize. "Hey man," his message said. "I heard what actually happened. The PC thing. That's messed up. My girl tried to get me involved, but I'm not about to defend someone trying to destroy their boyfriend stuff for clout. Just wanted you to know I'm not part of whatever they're planning." I appreciated that. Told him no hard feelings toward him. "What do you mean planning?" I asked. "They're trying to figure out how to take you to court. Her mom's been calling around to lawyers." Good luck with that, I thought. Thursday, I got served. Not with anything serious. Just a demand letter from some cut-rate lawyer claiming I owed my ex $6,500 for unlawfully converted property, her bags, plus $2,000 in emotional damages. I called my cousin, who's a paralegal, and asked her opinion. "This is garbage," she said. "You have receipts showing you paid for those items. They were in your apartment. You sold them through a legitimate consignment shop. She'd have to prove they were gifts, which is nearly impossible since everything was on your card and she never paid you back. This lawyer is just trying to scare you into settling." I didn't respond to the demand letter. Let them escalate if they wanted. They didn't. Shocking, I know. Saturday came. The handoff day. She showed up with her mom, sister, and two guys I didn't recognize, probably friends of the sister there to look intimidating. I had my buddy there as a witness, the one with the consignment shop. I'd packed all her stuff in boxes. Clothes, makeup, shoes, not the designer ones. Those were hers legitimately, personal items. Everything I could find that belonged to her. Her bags aren't here, her mom immediately screeched after surveying the boxes. Correct. Those were sold. We're going to SUE you. You sent a demand letter. I received it. My response is no. You can't just say no. I can. And I did. If you want to pursue this in court, go ahead. I have receipts showing I paid for every item. I have documentation of the sale. And I have screenshots of your daughter's text admitting she attempted to destroy my property for content. My ex's face went white. What texts? The ones where you told your friend Jenna. Yes, I saw those. That you were so mad the prank didn't work because you really wanted to smash that stupid PC. See, what she didn't know was that she'd left her tablet at the apartment, still logged into her messenger. I'd seen the conversation before I boxed it up with her stuff. You went through my messages? Your tablet was in my apartment. It was open. I glanced at it while packing your things and saw my name. Human nature. Her mom started up again about lawyers and courts and consequences. I let her rant. Didn't engage. Finally, they loaded up the boxes and left. Her parting words, "This isn't over," sure felt over to me. Final update, 2 weeks later. It's been about 3 weeks since the handbag incident. Here's how everything shook out. The lawsuit never materialized. Turns out threatening to sue and actually suing are very different things, especially when your case is weak and lawyers cost money. Her mom apparently consulted with 3 different attorneys, and all of them basically said the same thing. The items were purchased with my card from my residence, and I had documentation of everything. Plus, my ex's own messages showed she intended to destroy my property, which any decent lawyer would use against her. The demand letter went unanswered and nothing followed. My ex tried one last play about a week ago. She showed up at my apartment unannounced, didn't try to get in, just knocked. And when I answered, she was standing there with tears streaming down her face. "I'm sorry," she said. "I made a mistake. The prank was stupid. Can we please just talk? We're talking. I mean, really talk. Like we used to. I miss you. You miss the apartment. You miss the lifestyle. You don't miss me. That's not true. When's my birthday?" She blinked. "What? My birthday? When is it?" It's in March. September. 2 years together, and you don't know my birthday. I'm bad with dates. That doesn't mean. What do I do for work? Specifically, you work with computers. I'm a network administrator. I manage server infrastructure for a logistics company. We've been together 2 years, and you've never once asked me about my job. I thought you just liked being left alone about work stuff. I would have liked being asked, even once. She didn't have a response to that. The bags weren't the problem, I told her. The PC wasn't really the problem either. The problem is that you saw my stuff as disposable content and your stuff as precious investments. You never respected what I valued because you never bothered to learn what I valued. I can change. Maybe. But not with me. I'm done. She left crying. Haven't heard from her since. Her sister tried to post something vague on social media about toxic men who destroy women's financial futures, but the comment section apparently didn't go her way. Someone who knew the real story must have said something because she deleted it within hours. As for me, I'm doing all right. The apartment is quiet. My PC is fine, still sitting in the closet. Actually, I should probably move it back to my desk. The $5,700 is sitting in savings. Part of me thinks I should return it, try to be the bigger person. Then I remember her messages. I really wanted to smash that stupid PC. Nah, that money is mine now. My buddy from the consignment shop asked if I felt guilty at all. I thought about it for a minute before answering. She was willing to destroy something I spent 3 years building, something I paid for with money I earned, something that represents my hobby and my passion, all for a video that might have gotten her 15 minutes of internet attention. She didn't see any problem with that. None at all. So no, I don't feel guilty for selling bags she bought with my credit card to compensate myself for the emotional damage of dating someone who valued TikTok, Clout over my property, my time, and my feelings. He nodded. Fair enough. Look, I'm not claiming to be perfect here. What I did was legally gray at best. But there's a certain poetry in it, isn't there? She tried to destroy what I loved for content. She failed, and in the process, revealed exactly who she was. Someone who saw relationships as transactional and partners as props for her online persona. The bag were just stuff, designer labels purchased on credit. But to her, they were everything. Identity, status, worth. She called them investments. Investments in what? Looking good for strangers on the internet? I invested 3 years into building that PC. She invested 2 years into figuring out how to destroy it for views. Now she is neither the bags nor the boyfriend. And I have my PC, my apartment, and $5,700 in savings. Seems fair to me.